Every moment in your life is filled with all the opportunities that life has to offer.
My name is Stephanie Wilson-Coleman.
You see, life is a canvas, and you decide to color. What colors will you choose for your life today?
Listen to the message in its melody, sweetest lyrics that I ever heard. There's a message in the songs of birds. Tomorrow is another day.
Greetings and welcome to A Sip of Inspiration. I'm Stephanie Wilson-Coleman, known as the Empowerment Doctor. And tonight, I promise you, you will have one of the best and most exciting experiences in your life. As always, I usually talk about things that you can do to make sure that you're living your dreams, to make sure that you have all the health you need, all of the money you want. And tonight will be no different. We're going to talk about relationships. Joining me, ladies, so get ready, there are two men. One is in a relationship, though, and the other one is looking. So who knows what could happen. So joining me is an author by the name of Okera Hollis.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. His book is Be Your Priority and Not His Option. I think that is a great book. We're going to come back and you're going to get to tell us a little bit about that. And I've got, just like an innocent bystander, or so he thinks he is, Christopher Hill. How are you, Christopher?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Now, Christopher is divorced, currently single and dating.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So tonight, in this short period of time, we're going to ask some questions and hopefully, ladies, get some answers to some questions that you have been longing for. In the book, Be Your Priority, Not His Option, before we talk about why you wrote it, there was one thing that I found incredibly interesting, and that's the scale. What men consider a 10, then an 8, 9, 6, 7, 4, 5. So we got to be sure we talk about some of that. So why did you write this book?
Well, actually, I actually have a lot of female friends, and one day I discovered they really didn't know that much about men. So I figured if they didn't know a lot about men, then that meant a lot of other women know a lot about men. So I decided that I would give them my most detailed account of how men really are.
Okay, and how are men really?
We are simple, and we can be complicated. All at the same time. But I think actually what makes us more complicated is the way that women think.
Okay.
And so because of the way that you guys think, because women are just plainly complicated, it complicates it for you guys. We become more complicated.
Okay, more complicated than you really are in our eyes. Okay.
Exactly.
So if there's one thing that a woman should learn from this book about relationships, what would that be?
She is the most important person to herself.
Okay.
I think that in a relationship, you are your priority. You are the most important person in the relationship. While I'm not saying be selfish, but you have to think about what it is that you need, what it is that you really want in order to properly deal with another human being.
Hi. I'm Christopher Hill, better known as Stand and Deliver. He is a poet.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, right. I find that sexier than a spoken word artist. So, excuse me, ladies. So, tell me about your take on relationships.
Well, I agree with Okera here that men, we are simple in nature. And what makes it complicated is that women don't take the time to learn us. They have a stereotype ideal of us, and we're there. Some of us are open books. Some of us are closed books. The closed books have hurt and pain in them. We have to take the time and peel back that cover and see what's inside that book. It's a good book. Most men are good books.
Most men are good books. Okay, 90% of them are. Oh, well, let's say everybody can't win.
No, it's hard.
What are some of the stereotypes that women have about men?
All dogs.
Do they really?
Yes. Most women, or a lot of women, I would say, think that men are dogs. Actually, I would have to say it's not that far off.
Oh, okay.
It's not that far off. There are a considerable, I would say there's more than it should be that are dogs, but not all men are dogs.
Okay, so what's a dog? Define dog.
A man who is not truthful in his ways or his actions.
Okay.
I could agree with that.
Okay.
I could agree with
so, what percentage of men do you think are stuck in that category?
Honestly,
Honestly.
I'm going to say like 85%.
Would you agree?
I was going to give it between 75 to 85%.
Wow.
But you know what?
That seems high to me. But
It
okay.
varies. It varies on age. I think
Okay.
the younger you go, the higher the number is.
Okay.
As you get older, you see guys mature out of that.
Okay.
So,
So, and youth is just a matter of maybe trying to figure out what it is you like, who you are mainly. I mean, when you're 18 to 25, you don't even know who you are yet.
It's really about the reckoning, a point of, it's a moment in life where you meet someone that you feel comfortable with. When I was married, I met her at 21.
Okay.
When I met her, I knew who I was at 21 and
Okay.
18. I felt comfortable to share my life with this woman. It didn't work out, I understand. But the generation nowadays is really not about knowing who they are. It's about selfishness.
Okay.
when you're younger, I've always looked at it as you go through this period where you're basically just trying to get your numbers up.
Oh,
And
okay.
what I mean by that is you're trying to have sex with as many women as you possibly can, because that's the pressure that men put on each other. Because while I'm not sure if a lot of women know this, but women are a big deal to men. A lot of guys get their self-esteem based on the number of women that they've slept with. So
Or
when you're
people
younger,
they slept with.
or said that they slept with. That's why when you're a little kid, you lying about having sex.
Okay.
You 6th grade talking about I did it in the alley.
Okay.
No, you ain't do anything in the alley.
Okay.
But I mean, that's just the pressure that we put on each other. So as you get older, there are some men who don't get out of that. There are grown men, 37, 38, 40 years old, who still feel like that's the way to go.
Yep.
But there are some men who mature out of it.
Okay, so when you're looking for a relationship as a man, what are you looking for in a woman?
Me personally,
Or men in general?
as far as well, first thing is you want to be attracted to her.
Okay.
That's always a given.
Describe or define attractive, because that is like an adjective. What does it mean?
Let me say this. The most attractive woman, ladies, if y'all listening, listen, is the one who has on the most clothes. Showing your flesh and all that is not attractive. If you have on a form-fitting dress, that is very attractive. If you have on something that's showing a lot of skin, that's almost raunchy, is reserved for the bedroom, that's not attractive. Attractive is a woman knowing who she is and is comfortable in her skin and who she is and is confident in who she is. Able to speak to me and not at me. At me to treat me like her friend and not her son.
But those little bitty clothes will get you a lot of attention.
A lot of attention.
It will get you a lot of attention.
Okay. And there's a difference between getting attention and then actually drawing one's attention to you, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. So first thing we know is women cover up some. So men like to use their imagination, I guess.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay. What else makes you, what else attracts men?
For me, it's how she makes me feel when I talk to her. Like if she makes me feel comfortable,
Oh,
I become,
what's comfortable?
well, like you could just, I'm goofy.
Okay.
So if I'm talking to you and I get the impression that if I do something goofy, you might look at me and frown, then you kind of like, but if I get the impression that if I do something goofy, you might just think is, you know, you might laugh and just be like, boy, you crazy?
Uh-huh.
That's
Okay.
attractive. And somebody who doesn't necessarily take themselves real serious. Like you might be able to, you can take a joke and you can give a joke.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm dating you or if I'm already speaking to you, you have to pretty much assume I think you're attractive. But I mean, like for me, I got big lips. So if somebody wanted to joke about my lips, hey, that's fine. I already know it. I could take that joke.
Okay.
So if I was talking to somebody who had big lips and I was joking about her lips and she got all sensitive about it, that's somebody who can't take a joke. I might be joking about your lips because I think they sexy.
Okay.
Because I think big lips are sexy.
Okay.
But so it's somebody who could take a joke, somebody who doesn't necessarily take themselves seriously all the time.
Someone that can laugh at themselves. Someone that can laugh at themselves and be comfortable. Just laugh. Be yourself. A lot of women are trying to be something that they're not to impress a man. They don't need to be that. If you be yourself.
Okay. Well, how do men feel about independent women?
I love them.
I love them. I'm a product.
That's what they say.
No, hey,
that's not what
I
they
just
mean.
said me personally.
Okay.
I love them. Now, at the same time, I'm not going to be naive to the fact that there are plenty of men who are somewhat intimidated by independent women, but a lot of it has to do with the presentation of the independent woman.
Okay.
A guy is not. I mean, if I meet you and I'm speaking to you and you are talking about all of the things that you do. I do this, I do that, I'm this, I'm that. It's kind of like, okay, you know, why are you trying to impress me with what you do? Just talk to me regular. Now, some guys are going to look at her and think that she's basically competing with them. Like, there are times when you will meet a girl, and it's kind of like when you're a little kid and you're on the playground with a bunch of boys and everybody's trying to see who's the alpha male going to be. You don't want to do that with a woman. You don't want to do that. You do that all day with men.
Right.
You don't want to have that going on with the woman. So it depends on the way that she presents it a lot of times. But regardless, there are still men who are going to be intimidated just by the fact that you have a lot, because they feel like part of their power or part of their worth comes with what they can provide for you.
Yes. I dated an alpha woman. Man, we dated for 2 years. Great relationship. But she had a hard time dealing with the fact that I wasn't bow down to her. I'm like, I'm not your son. I was actually older than her. I'm like, you can't yell at me. She's an alpha. She's corporate. She was corporate. So everything was done for a reason. And independent, cool, no problem. I can deal with independent women. A lot of men can't, because they can't handle the materialistic side of it. Oh, she's driving this, she's driving that. I ain't got this, I ain't got that. Nah. An independent woman is just as good as a woman who's not independent. But if you think about it, a lot of women are independent nowadays.
We've got a caller. We're going to take a call from Tim. How are you doing, Tim?
Pretty well. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, how you doing, Tim?
Hey,
Hello?
Tim. How you doing?
Yeah.
Hi there. This question is for the doctor. I'm just a little curious on how to be true to myself when my significant other basically makes me lie to myself and lie to her.
Can you repeat that?
He said,
Yeah, could you turn your television set down just a little bit, because we're getting an echo, and could you repeat your question, please?
Oh, an echo?
Yeah. Could you repeat your
Can you
question?
hear me now?
That's better.
Yes.
Yeah, the question to the doctor was, how do I be true to myself when my significant other makes me lie to myself and to her on a frequent basis?
Wow.
well,
That was for her.
That was for me.
The empowered doctor.
That's right. First off, I believe some similar things to Okera. I believe that in all of your relationships, whether it's your relationship, your personal relationship, your relationship at work, your relationship with your money, your relationship with your friends, I do believe that you have to be your own priority. I think that no one makes you lie to them. Lying to someone is a decision that you have made, and generally we tell lies because we feel that what we say or how we feel will hurt the other person, but what we've really done is projected our own insecurities onto the other person. So what we have to do is we have to be real clear and true with how we feel about everything. So you have to be real clear about how you feel about the relationship. What are you getting out of the relationship? You need to look at that too. We stay in places because we're getting something out of it. We're getting some kind of emotional fix, maybe we're getting a financial fix, but we're getting something out of it. So you've got to deal with that first. That's an internal conversation that you have to have. And then you've got to ask yourself, why am I in a situation where I am allowing someone to treat me worse or even better than I think that I need to be? Sometimes people are really good to us and we don't feel we deserve it, so then we do things that will destroy that relationship. But that's another show. Thank you very much.
Well, I found my mother in my rat's dress, so.
Okay. Now, what are the mistakes that women make? Let's talk about what's in here. What are the mistakes that women make?
All right, let's see.